Hey beautiful people, how y'all doing today? It is a gorgeous day. The sky is Carolina blue and I am just out here having a little quiet time before I get some other things going. I have to get my dinner started and things like that. But I just wanted to talk to y'all a little bit again this morning. I've still been doing a lot of thinking about a lot of different things. And one of the things that I've thought about a lot is being the change that we want to see. Um, a lot of times we complain about things and we don't like the way things are going. We don't think that things are what they ought to be, and we just complain about it and we don't do anything about it, or we expect other people to do something about it and we don't. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about us being that change. If there's something that you don't like, if someone is treating someone badly, if you're in a place where you feel like things are not as exciting as you want them to be, or for an example, is if you're in a job that everyone is just grumpy all the time and you hate it, well, be the cheerful person. Be the one to come in and be like, hey, and be the cheerful person. Be the one that eventually will turn everybody else's frown upside down, as the saying goes, and cause other people to smile, because you want your cheerfulness to rub off on them. You don't want their grumpiness to rub off on you. And you want to be that change. You want to be the one to change the atmosphere. We have that ability. We have the ability to change the atmosphere that we are in. And when we allow the grumpiness, and we allow the hatred, we allow those things to affect us and change us in a negative way, then we can't complain. We can't say, well, I don't like the way that person's being treated, because we're doing the same thing. We're acting the same way, and we're not invoking, whatever that word is, the change that we need, that we want, that we desire. Another example that I know that we used to say a lot years ago in church was, you can't complain if the church that you're in doesn't have that fire and the passion that you seek. What you need to do is you need to bring the fire and the passion. And when other people see you with that fire and with that passion, yeah, at first they may look at you like you're crazy, but eventually they're going to catch on, and that fire is fire spread. So if you are that one little flame, somebody else is going to catch it, and then somebody else and somebody else. And before you know it, the whole place is going to be on fire in a good way. And so that's what we want. We want to be that change. We want to be the person that creates that change, even in your household. Sometimes it's really hard, and people can be grumpy, have attitudes, and just not care. But if you start showing the care and the concern and the love and the happiness, and sometimes it might take a while. You might be getting tired and feel like this is a waste of time, but eventually someone is going to get it, and eventually change will happen. And that's something that we need to do. We need to be the change. And so as hard as it is sometimes, we have to be the change. We have to be the one to make the difference. And we have to make that decision to do it and to change and to be the change. I know, and I think I'm cricket, but I'm on a hill and it's kind of hard. But anyway, it's okay. I'm leaning a little bit, but we're good. If even in our own lives, if we don't like what we see in ourselves, nothing else, nobody else can change that for us. I don't care how many programs we enroll in. I don't care how many books we read. I don't care how many webinars that we attend. If we do not decide to make that change within ourselves, change is not going to happen. And I don't care how much we pray. I don't care if we pray, Lord, change me. Guess what? It is not God's job to change you. It is your job to allow him to work in you, but you have to put in some work. It's not going to be an overnight, boom, miracle, I'm changed. That is not going to happen. If it was going to happen, then, I mean, there would be no need for it, because God would have just made us exactly perfect without having any free will, without being able to have emotions or any such thing. If we were going to be like robotic and God changed me to exactly the way you want me to be overnight, that it's not going to happen. It is up to us to be the change and to make the change. I can sit here and pray all I want to. God, change me. God, give me boldness. God, give me patience. But guess what? He's actually already given us all those things. We already have everything within us that we need in this life to succeed. He has given us the boldness that we need. He has given us the patience that we need. He has given us the love that he has given us, everything that we need. It's up to us to find it, bring it out, and use it. It's up to us to act in a way that is pleasing to God. It is up to us to be that person. It's up to me to walk in the boldness that God has given me. God is not going to grab me and throw me and force me to do something. It's not going to happen. I have to take the first step. I have to be the one that wants the change, and I have to be the one to walk in the change. God's not going to do it for me. So we need to be the change. If we want to see change, especially now, I was scrolling through Facebook this morning and I literally could have cried with so much of the meanness and rudeness and spitefulness and just hurtful things that I saw people saying to each other on Facebook, and it's very sad. And so I try to stay out of politics. I try to stay away from all that mess, because for one reason is because I don't trust any politician. I don't care who you are. I don't trust you, and I don't believe 90% of the stuff that comes out your mouth. But I don't want to be the person that is saying that my person, my candidate, my whoever is this wonderful 100% person that everybody should follow, and that you're this if you don't, because that's a bad witness. It is a very, very, very bad witness, because the only person that we should be telling people that they need to follow is Jesus Christ. That is the only person that we need to stand up and adamantly say, this person, this is the one. Because no politician out there is the one. The only one is Jesus. And so when we pound and pound and pound and pound candidates into people and tell them, well, you're not this if you don't, you're not. No, because we don't know that person. We don't know their heart. And we don't know what situations they've been through. We don't know. And so we cannot, as Christians, stand there and condemn anyone for what side of the political spectrum that they stand on. But that being said, what we can do is be the change and be the voice of reason, be the voice of love, be the voice of kindness in the world today, because there is so much division, and the majority of the division, I hate to say it, is among Christians. The majority of the division is within the church. And, we keep saying Jesus is coming back soon, Jesus is coming back soon, and I do believe that he is, But the Bible also says that he's coming back for a spotless bride, and the church is far, far, far from it. I feel like the church is farther away from it than it has ever been, because there's so much division among Christians, and it's over politics, and it's just ridiculous. It's over human rights, and it is ridiculous. As Christians, yes, we need to stand up for what's right. We need to stand up for what the Bible tells us, for what the Bible says. But we're also to love. And I see so much more hatred and unjustified judgment coming from Christians than non-believers. And that is sad. It is the non-believers who are the ones that are saying enough is enough. And the Christians are still at each other's throats. And that's disheartening. And I mean, I can't speak for God. I am not God. I can't say, whatever, but I feel like he's grieved by what he sees his children doing and fighting, and how we're supposed to be, if Jesus is coming back very soon, there's supposed to be revival. There's supposed to be great revival. And how can we have great revival if we are not being the change that we want? How can we have great revival if we're running people off because we don't like what party they voted for? Or we're running people off because we don't like whatever it is that we don't like. We're running people away. We are not being the change that we keep saying that we want to see. We are not reaching out to the lost and bringing them in. We're pushing them away. And in order to have great revival, instead of post after post after post after post about this politician, that politician, and all this mess, why don't we post after post after post about the love of God, post after post after post about how much Jesus desires for you to be with him? Why can't we do that? And I mean, and me too. I'm talking to myself. While I don't very rarely dive into politics, I will dive into human rights in a heartbeat if I feel like something needs to be said. But I usually base it all off of my own experiences, and I dare anyone to try to, convince me that my experience was not real, because I know what I have been through, and I know what I have dealt with. And so I will, say something against hatred, because hatred is not of God. And so I will say something about that. But I feel like we really, really, really need to let God's love shine so much brighter than it is. It is so dim right now. And, I saw somewhere this morning, I don't remember, someone posted it, and it said, as Christians, we are not powerless. And we're not. We are not powerless, but a lot of times we act like we are powerless. We act like we are prisoners of this world and of the things around us and the circumstances and situations, and like we can't get away from it. And we need to get away from it. We need to take the time and seclude ourselves for a little while, just get back in God's presence and ask him, how can I be the change that I desperately want? How can I be that change? What can I do? And then actually listen and try not to answer it, yourself. That's one thing also that I know that I'll do. I'll say, God, what about this? And then I'll try to answer the question myself. Don't try to answer the question yourself. Just allow God to to do the answering. Allow him to speak and tell you what it is that he wants you to do, how you can be that change. And I know the other day on the post that I posted, and I was talking about, my feelings and how I, really felt out of place and just like I did not belong. But then it was, what are you doing? You need to be investing. You need to make yourself a part, because you can't complain and say, well, I feel left out. I feel like I'm not a part, when you're not even there. And when you are there, you're not there. You can be somewhere and still not be there. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. And you can be at home with your family and not be present with your family. You can be in a marriage but not be present in that marriage. You can go to church and be in the building but not be present in the building. And so those are things that we really need to work on if we want change. And if we want to be that change. I can't be a change in my marriage if I'm not present in my marriage. If I spend 80% of my time on my phone, on my computer, anywhere but with my husband, then I am not present, and I cannot be the change that is needed. So, and that's the same with your children, with your job, with church. You need to be present. And so, like I said, that's something that I've been working on for me personally with church this past couple weeks since we got back from our vacation, is being present. Not just being there, not just going out of obligation, but being present and being a part. Pollen, good gracious. And being a part of what is going on. And allowing God to use me and show me what is needed. And not being upset, not being jealous, not being hurt when I feel like I'm not, being a part, or when I feel like I am being, pushed to the side or left out or not treated in the same way as others, because it's okay. And, everyone needs different things, and sometimes people don't even know what you need. And that's another thing. Tell somebody. Let them know. If you need something, tell them. If you need somebody to pray for you, and then tell them. If you need someone to pat you on the back, then tell them. It's okay. It is perfectly okay, because they don't know unless you tell them. So if you're the type of person that needs someone to hold your hand and help you through something, tell them that I need someone to hold my hand. I need you to hold my hand. It's okay. And in the process of doing those things and doing that, letting them know this is what I need, then you're helping with the change. And because then they know your needs, and eventually you're not going to need that anymore. Because once that is fulfilled in you, you're able to move on. A lot of times we hold on to things because it's something that we desire, and we can't let it go. And once we're able to kind of detox from that and get, then it's okay. Kind of like with the eating plan that I'm on now, we had to go through a little detox and get our bodies to the place where the cravings were no longer there. And now I'm in the reset mode where I'm resetting my body to be fulfilled with healthy foods rather than junk foods. And it's a chore. It really is, and it takes a lot of hard work. But I'm seeing change, and so I had to make that decision to make that change. And so I'm seeing change now that is good change and that I like. And I can fix my family food now without, drooling and, wanting to stick my fingers in there and having to have it. I can do pasta and bread for them and not, have a full-on, anxiety attack because I cannot have it. That's like the cravings are not there for that. Now, sweets, I'm still working on sweets. I've been able to kind of have them in the house without bothering them too much. But that's still, something that I'm working on. But the more I have it, the more I do it, the easier it gets to say, that's okay. I don't have to have that. And so those are just things that I'm doing for change, to be the change, to see the change that I want, to be the change that I want. God, if he wanted to, he could supernaturally make me a size 8. I don't want to be no smaller than that. Right now. But I have to do it. I have to be the change. I have to make the change. Because God could turn around and make me a size 8 right now. And then I go back to eating the way I was eating, and I'm right back. And then some. Because we all know how that is. So, that's all I'm going to share right now because my pocket is ringing. Albert is calling. So, and I have to be present in my marriage, so I will get that. But that's just a little bit of what I wanted to share with y'all today. And I hope that you got something out of it. And if you did, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know. And I will see y'all soon. Bye. Have a blessed day.